All right, everybody. Welcome to session 3 of the unnamed Planescape game. Uh, does anybody remember enough to give maybe not a recap, but what they recall of the game? And I'll kind of fill in the blanks.
I remember that we went to we were going to the House of the Dead to try to find someone who was, we believe, in there. It's I forget the guy's name, but it's the guy we were hired to find by the other blue-skinned gentleman. We have reason to believe he would be there. We had run into my character, Ularmath's friend Kathiri, who had said that he was going to check to see whether or not that guy had ever been with the Bleakers. Thought that he might have been, but mostly what I remember is we were headed for the House of the Dead. I think we were thinking about like calling it a day and getting rest and then going back. But I don't remember what we decided specifically.
Mhm. Yeah, so in the first session, you had met Githiri, and he was going to check his records to see um if Eliath, who is the person you were looking for, was among the records. Um, but with the thing with Kathiri and the gatehouse, he said that many of the people that he had been caring for, or and many of the gatehouse people, had been coming up dead. And
Right.
so
And they
that
had mostly been crazy people who seemed to
right.
be turning up dead, which is another reason why the Bleakers have run into several people who seem to have gotten themselves killed. And we ran into some guy called Mourner Thorn at one of the people we think got killed that way and had a brief fight with some people who ran off.
Yeah. So uh the last session, you guys ran into Dobrun,
Right. Dobrun,
Dustin's
Three Teeth.
character. And then yeah, there was the whole Trunfeld situation because she was thirsting after Dobrun.
Right.
Um, but she Dobrun paid for the information and managed to discover that Eliath had been there within the past week, but uh she had thrown him out because he had no money. Um, and then also that he was yelling about something with black trees.
The Isle of Black
Uh,
Trees.
and Uthameth was had heard of the Isle of Black Trees, which was a demiplane that was said to have been created by a very powerful wizard to store his artifacts and knowledge. Um, and that while it's some view it as a myth, enough people believe it exists that they're searching for it. Which, if Eliath has any connection to that place, it would make sense why Ben and Maul was trying to hire you to find him. From there, you guys uh had gone um where did you guys go from there? Uh
Spent a lot of time at that giant creature.
Yeah, the behemoth.
yeah, you spent more time hanging out at the behemoth.
We were at the
Um
butcher's block for a bit.
mhm.
That's where we actually saw, I think we saw Mortar Thorn initially. He was like in the crowd there. And then when we found the guy in the who got killed, the crazy guy who was talking about Baphomet, he turned up again
So
at the body.
so you guys actually the first time that you had seen Mortar Tom was when after the dancing guy died. But yeah, you guys ran into a dancing guy who was a nut, um, and talking like listing the names of demon lords, and for some reason Fisk's name. He knew who Fisk was, and then started running, like talking about how flies and and his mind or something. And then he ran
And
off.
and we have to note that Fisk is conveniently absent this time, meaning that
Yeah.
now that he's been revealed as a demon lord. And I
Um,
remember now, Mourner Tom was essentially among the people we were fighting, and we didn't kill him. We took him to the Bleakers and let him live.
so you're confusing two characters there.
Okay,
So after the guy ran off and it was raining, you heard him scream in an alley. You went to see what happened, found him dead with no apparent marks on his body or evidence as to how he died. And Chaz and a couple of you saw one of the guys running off, gave chase. Chaz knocked the shit out of the guy, breaking a couple of his ribs and knocking him out cold. Um, and you tied him up. And then when you went back to the dancing guy's corpse, you saw the collectors there. The
I see.
collectors are the impoverished individuals who make a living by finding corpses and taking them to the mortuary for a small amount of gold.
Right,
Mourner Tom was among them, one of
I see.
the leader, and you asked him about Eliath, and after some convincing with some coin, he was willing to take you to where he found Eliath's body, saying that he had found Eliath a few days before, and like the dancing guy, he had no marks on his body, no obvious way of knowing how he died or why he died.
Right.
And he suggested that you might go to the mortuary to try and um, see if he's still there. Uh, because the mortuary, once they process dead, they do give people a chance to come and pay their respects, but then they incinerate the bodies, sending them to the plane of fire. So he said that you might be able to go there and see about him there. From there, you went back and woke up the goon that you had found running from the body. He claimed to be a hired sword and didn't really want to talk, believing you were going to kill him anyway. And then Chaz healed him a bit, undoing some of his earlier work. And he acknowledged that. And after taking him to the gatehouse to further treat his wounds, he did acknowledge that he was hired. He was paid 100 gold pieces and given a letter with instructions of where to meet. Um, because another thing, Fisk recognized him as one of the people that were leaving the butcher's block as you guys were getting there. And so he acknowledged that he was given a letter with instructions to follow a person, and that was described of physical characteristics, and to be lookout and to guard him. He then said that he went up to the dancing guy, didn't touch him, assuming that he must have used magic or something, because after approaching the dancing guy, the dude just kind of died. So that's where we left off last session.
And
So
unfortunately, all of my knowledge of Planescape slang has been reduced to just bashers, bubbers, and jink. That's it. That's the three I remember.
I'm trying, but mine is not much better than that. Um,
I knew more as of last session, but it's been a while and it's faded.
Also, just because I think it's worth sharing, in the journal, here's Dancing Guy.
Oh, fancy. I didn't know that they were doing animated things now.
Gifts in there now.
Yep. Hey,
Old
Dustin.
dancing guy.
Hey, I'm really sorry. I completely spaced.
No worries. I half thought that maybe you were napping.
I no, I was playing Expedition 33.
Oh.
Hell yeah, dude.
So that's my bad.
Look.
So if you could just go through that 10-minute recap again.
All right.
Like,
Highlights. Dobrun got hit on by uh a thick ogre. Um Found
With
out
crazy.
Eliath was there a week ago. Discovered information about a potential demi-plane full of artifacts. The Isle of Black Trees that Eliath apparently has information about. Uh Decided to head out. Forget where you guys were going after that, but came across a dancing guy saying weird stuff. Apparently knew Fisk's name. He turns up dead in an alley. You find one of the guys that you think is responsible, knock him out. Then a bunch of collectors come, led by Mourner Tom. Mourner Tom says that he found Eliath's body and took it to the mortuary. He shows you where he died. He, like the dancing guy, had no wounds on his body. Uh, Suggested that you go to the mortuary because he might not have been incinerated yet. And then you interrogated the goon. He was a hired sword with no real information to offer about who actually did the murder, but he said that the guy that he was guarding didn't touch the dude. He just kind of walked over and suddenly the guy dies. Uh, can't be sure. There was no visual effect, but assumes it to have been magic.
Sadly, when you click on the magnifying glass and try to magnify the dancing guy, they give you a slightly smaller version
No.
in a separate window.
I'm sure you could find it on YouTube.
I'm
Well,
sure.
it's the dancing guy from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, so you guys are currently at the gatehouse, having just dropped off the goon to get his wounds treated. Um, and
And as I said, I think we were debating, I forget what time of day is it? I think we were
it's
debating
night.
whether or not to go and rest or just go to the mortuary now.
Yeah, it's
Because
nighttime
they
right
might
now.
because they might burn that body.
Right.
And we wouldn't want to get there and they'd be like, "Oh, if you were only here an hour ago."
Yeah, so it's currently nighttime. It's also still raining fairly heavily. But the mortuary and the dusters, they don't follow business hours. So you are likely to be able to talk to somebody if you were to go to the mortuary now.
We should go to the mortuary before the trail grows cold.
And I'll yawn and say, "That makes sense to me."
Follow me?
And we're walking.
So, um, uh, let me see something.
What's Tony's character? What's your character's name again?
Cadeau.
Cadeau?
Yeah.
Like gift?
No, like kiddo.
Oh, okay.
We made a joke like in the first session that it was like Kidoo, and that is always the first thing that pops into my head.
You
Like
can
like Skidoo.
if you start actively calling me Cadeau, I'll just reply to it.
I don't think my character would do that. It's me and my dumb head got that stuck somehow.
All
The
right.
name kiddo is just like, hey kiddo, hey
Yeah.
kiddo, come here.
All right. So you are heading to the mortuary. How how are you lighting your way? Because it is dark
Uh, right. It's a fair point. I do have the
and it
light
is also raining.
cantrip. I do have the light cantrip prepared,
Okay.
so I would use that as I do not have dark vision.
Um, so as you guys are heading towards the mortuary, um, somebody steps out of a dark alley and he whistles at you.
I will turn to Dobrun and say, I think someone is whistling at you. To be fair, Dobrun and Chaz, both of them are the type to draw whistles.
That would be the second one today.
I'm like, I
That's
don't.
true. Is it three tooth?
Is it a large hulking form?
I
Can Dobrun tell what the creature is?
uh
Is it
well, I
with
mean, you
very
turn
unique?
to him and you can I mean, he's not hiding in the alley. He steps out of the alley. And when you turn to see him, you notice it is he is not wearing a shirt. His arms are wrapped in some kind of tape, and he has like these massive like metal weights attached to his wrists, and seems to have a piece of armor over one shoulder. He's wearing scraps that he has fashioned into a pair of pants that are torn. He's not wearing any shoes. The most interesting thing about him, though, are two characteristics. One, he has scars across his body, but they glow with a pink light. He's also wearing a box over his head. Here he is. And for the audience at home, let's share that screen. Uh, so he appears from around the corner, whistling.
It's like a Street Fighter character.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a picture because in my head I was kind of picturing somebody who looked like MC Marshmallow. And he does look like he could be the cousin of MC Marshmallow, though. Someone in
Uh,
the same family.
all right, can we read his posture here?
Uh,
Is this like a challenging maneuver that he's performing here?
The challenging whistle. Now, like,
so
was the whistle like actually designed to hit on someone, or was it just to get our attention?
Hey, you better scroll up in your hint window here.
damn it.
I didn't read nothing, but
I'm sharing. I purposely looked at which screen I was sharing.
Dobrun's gonna immediately check to see if there are others.
Uh,
If there's like anybody else, or if this is just the only person in the area within his blind sight.
sure. Go ahead and give a check.
Um, Guess that would just be perception. So passive, but nothing to active perception.
So you don't notice anybody else, and he looks like he is tensing up and getting ready, like old-fashioned fisticuffs, and he says, I've noticed you've been new around this place.
Who are you talking to?
Use.
I noticed you've been new about this place. It's great.
Are
I'm
you
not
seeking enlightenment? What is your name?
Well, see, Cutter's been dying around here, and, can't have that happen at my turf. We got a certain code around here. See, you know, here's the thing about me. I like nothing more than pounded cutters. But pounded killers is most fun, and some folks been killing around here. But I'll pound strangers too. In fact, yeah.
I've already been attempted
So
to be pounded
you
tonight.
you being strangers and maybe even killers, killing cutters, man, it's a good day to be a fighter. I'm about to pound you.
Hold on.
In fact,
You think that
my friends,
that's really it?
they love a good fashioned pounding, good natured pounding even. So we had to be pounded.
Is it too late to switch characters and play this guy?
So
I think you're mistaken. There's no one looking for a pounding tonight.
oh, but my fists are looking, and he goes and punches.
Who?
So, well, let's see who's closest. We'll do
If he starts getting close to me, I'm walking away.
I would say I like to think it's Uthermath just because he's just been standing there not saying anything.
It is. That's what the dice told me to do.
He's just minding his own business.
He goes, it's pounding time. So he goes to take a swing at Uthermeth. That's
87. I'm quite dead.
that's wrong.
Wow. Holy shit. This motherfucker ain't gonna miss. Plus 76 to hit. This is one of those. This is one of those boss fights from from your from your games
with a table leg.
That's what he calls his fists. Table
okay.
legs.
Not even. I was gonna say not even proficient. Doesn't even have tavern brawler. Just plus 87.
You know what? Sigil is glitching. We're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
So I'm unconscious. I only have 7 hit points with level 1.
Well, you're in vitality.
Right, that's right. I will still play unconscious though. Because with plus 87, I'm not going to survive this guy.
So it's only plus 87 for
70.
the first attack.
So he still would have hit me. I have a 13 AC.
And so he punches Uthermeth, knocking him out cold, apparently. And he's like, "Oh, didn't expect you to take that pounder so quick." But quick pounders are good too.
We should check to see. My deception is not good. Huh? That's pretty good for playing dead. For me, especially.
It also helps that he really wants to believe it.
Yes.
So which one of you killers is next? Pound, pound, pound. Table leg, pound.
Look at him. Does he look like he's a killer?
He looks like he got pounded. You next. He's getting ready
I'm
to
gonna
take a swing.
I'm gonna cast grease at his feet.
Technically, he also gets to apply cripple or sap. Although that may be an actual table leg thing as opposed to his fists.
Okay. So the rain plus the grease is a bad combination. He goes beat overhead. Ah, oh, you pounded me. You pounded me.
You keep saying that word. I don't think you understand. Like, I don't think it means what you think it means.
Okay. Good play. Fair play. You pounded me. Hold on. Let me. And he does like a Stooges sort of like whoop, 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 trying to get up and just falls back on his face.
We're not trying to kill anyone.
But you the killers, you knew around here, and you going and pounding people to death without leaving a mark. It ain't right. I mean, what's the fun in that? You gotta pound them if you're gonna kill them.
I think you have the wrong people.
Do you, have you seen
What do
anybody
these
get
killers
killed?
look like?
Huh?
What do these killers look like?
I figured you was the killers. And he tries to get up again and just falls back down.
Do you even know what they look like? Or are you just looking for anybody you don't recognize?
I ain't. You know, if you knew, you get pounded. That's the way it is. But
Well,
but if you kill us, you get pounded extra hard.
well,
And if you're killers that go not even having fun with it, not leaving a mark, you getting pounded triple hard.
So tell us about these killings.
Ah, like I said, not fun. No one's leaving a mark. And it's definitely not anyone around here.
what makes you say that?
Because there ain't no one around here that can kill without leaving a mark.
What is the cause of death?
Dying? Not getting pounded?
So
Poundless dying.
is that the only sort of dying you're aware of?
There's pounding, there's stabbing, there's squishing, there's mashing, there's bashing. All kinds of ways of dying. Pounding is the best. That's my favorite.
Still laying on the ground, probably covered in grease. I will say there are many creatures in this city, some of whom probably could kill without leaving a mark. Creatures that attack the mind, for example.
I've been living the hive my whole life. Whoa! When he slips again, trying to get out of the grease. Ah,
You
my
should
head got
probably
a
just
pounding right there. The street
you should
pounded my
probably just
head.
wait. Just wait
Yeah.
for the spell to wear off.
Yeah, it'll go away in about a minute. It's gonna get washed away. Yeah, have you been everywhere here?
Born and raised in the hive.
Yeah, I'm quite familiar with the Hive. I've been around.
Yeah, I ain't seen you.
Hold on. And then like I change form. Like I probably have like rough like a couple of looks that I go through for each area. I'm like, so whatever look I would go through here, I would imagine uh, just a different looking boy.
Oh, hey, it's Greg. I know you.
Yeah, always me.
Okay.
These
Okay,
guys are
what?
with me. They're friends of mine.
Well, I ain't seen him. Like I
That's
said,
because you've never left here. You
Bro,
got to get.
are those eye holes big enough in your box to see? Maybe that's why you can't see anybody, bro.
It's
You got to
hard
make
with
them
all the
bigger.
raining and this
Besides,
slip.
is that keeping the moss dry under there? Is that keeping your locks dry, bro? Does that box work?
I mean, I think it works pretty good.
Is
And
it
then he
keeping the
reaches under
locks
the
dry?
box and like scratches.
I can't tell, bro. Let's see those locks.
Mm, I I I can't. I got pounded too hard one time and my face never recovered.
It can't be that bad, bro.
Oh, it's bad. It's mashed potatoes under here. Pounded
Well,
hard.
people like mashed potatoes, bro. So what are you saying? Let's see it.
Uh, Okay.
What are these mashed potatoes? We only ate gruel at the monastery.
Very similar.
All right. So
Potatoes are a delicacy around here. I just imagine. I don't know why.
all right. So
Here
Can't
in the hive, here in the hive for sure.
I remember once there was a very long thread on the old Wizards of the Coast forums about whether or not potatoes would exist in certain D&D worlds because they're a new world vegetable and it's a medieval setting.
A lot of free time.
all right. Here.
yeah, chronomancers. They're bringing potatoes back.
Right. Well, this is sigils, so obviously they'd exist here as like some exotic alien vegetable.
All right. So this is his face when he opens the box or like lifts the box.
Guile? Gee, were you already in a fight before you got here? You're bleeding already.
Yeah. Like I said, my friends love good-natured, friendly poundeds. We pound each other all the time.
Yeah. What do they say whenever these poundings are happening? What are the words that they say? I'm curious.
It's pounding time. Let's pound. Get pounded.
Do your friends all look uh like you?
Nah, their faces recover. Mine just kind of stays mush.
I see.
Why I wear the box? And he goes and puts it back on.
Does the scars on his chest actually glow pink, or what's going on there?
Yeah, they do.
Where'd you get the scars?
Oh, oh, these you like them?
I'm curious.
Yeah, they're not real scars.
What do you mean?
I mean, they're fake.
Would you like real scars?
Not cool, bro.
Look, I got them done by Fell. He's a master. That's why they glow.
Is that all that they do?
Yeah.
How much does that cost?
Eh, it was a lot, but I pounded enough folks to get the chink.
See. Did Fell come here to the hive? Is Fell always at the hive? I don't remember anymore.
Yeah,
That's
Okay,
where we
okay.
met him.
in the hive, yeah.
Okay. Then never mind. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Did you get to actually talk to him? Did he say anything?
No, he just kind of listens.
Did he ever do any of the symbols?
Yeah, I don't get it though.
How much was it again?
It's a lot.
Rough. How much jink? How many
I,
jinks did you give him?
I don't remember. I'm not good with numbers. It was a bag full of jink.
Okay.
Maybe a sock full of jink.
Clearly not your own socks.
So wait, so you not Dakota's like putting those guys in the dead book, like without touching them? You sure?
Quite sure. We're looking for some info. I mean, we were sent to look for somebody. And he got killed, it sounds like, by this same thing. So
You wouldn't happen to know someone named Eliath. I'm still laying on the ground in the grease.
Oh yeah,
surely it's washed
Squinty
away by now.
dude. I seen him. Came across him. I almost gave him a pounding, but he looked too sad.
When was the last time that you saw him? Because we have been looking for him for some time and think he may have been killed by them.
Oh, he's dead? Okay. Well, we gotta
We
go and
don't.
find we gotta go find the guy that killed him and we gotta pound him. Let's go pound him.
We can't just pound every new person that we see.
Why not?
I think
Well,
it's better.
sometimes people have to come here.
And sometimes people need a pounding.
That's what I hear.
Well, we are heading to look for clues, not necessarily to look for a pounding.
Well, look, I gave you a good pounding. You gave me a good pounding. So we're square on the pounding. But we could always do more pounding if you want to do more pounding. I love pounding. I don't know about you, but if you ever want to get pounded, you let me know and we'll pound. But if you need someone to do some pounding for you on your behalf, I'd love to be able to pound someone for you.
Would we get to watch?
Oh yeah, and you can participate in the pounding. Just have it be a like a, full pound down.
I might actually take you up on that. I have somebody who is interested in giving me a pounding, Trunfeld, and if you could stand in on my behalf,
I think
Sure.
that was a different kind of pounding.
I think I suspect it's this it's all the same to our friend. Uh,
Oh wait, you talk about Trunfeld over the butcher's block? Oh yeah, I pound her all the time. She pounds me too.
there you go.
Just round and round pounding.
What is you
You
never
could call this a veritable pound town, huh?
I never thought about it like that, but yeah, the Hive is kind of pound town.
what's your name? Uh, or what do they call you by? Surely it's not Poundy McPounderson.
No, I wish my parents would have named me that. That would have been better named than Mortuary Antle.
Bro, you can change your name, you know that.
Why? His name is the most attractive thing about him.
Yeah, whatever you want to be called. You got it.
Really? I I
Sure.
can just go and change my name just like that?
Might take a little while for everybody else to say that name.
Hmm. Poundy McPounderson.
It
Yeah.
it could be.
That's me now. I'm Poundy McPounderson. Prepare to get pounded.
We are potentially running up against a clock to determine what the to find the next to our next destination.
Do you
to
need me to
find-
pound that clock?
No, but if there's not anything else, we need to get going.
All right. Well, if you ever just need somebody to get to pounding, just call out Poundy McPounderson.
You'll
No
be the
relation
first
to
person
Cloudy.
yeah. You'll be the first person we reach out to, I promise.
And he does like one of those breakdancer moves, like using the grease and the slickness to kind of just spin until he catches some friction and then like manages to do a flip back upside down or back right side up. And he's like, ah, and the box that he's wearing is still spinning. He stops it. He says, all right, off to find others to pound. Good luck pounding.
Don't get killed.
And he runs back into the alley.
It has been thoroughly unpleasant to meet you. As I try to get up. Nope.
It should be.
Fall
This shit
back
has to be.
down.
It only lasts for a minute. It's got to be gone by now.
Even without the grease, I think I fell back down.
I just like looked at Chaz. Help me up, or help me help him up.
All right, bro.
I'm not very strong, so I don't think I can actually do it.
Dobrun could. And if he would extend, he would pull off. He has a glaive, and he'd pull it out like off of his back and extend to like the handle to Uthermouth.
So I slowly stagger to my feet and begin to wobble.
You sure you still want to go to the mortuary?
Oh, sure. What could go wrong?
Sounds better.
Surely we have just met the worst this hive has to offer.
We haven't, and don't call me Shirley, unless you really want to.
Yeah, apparently names mean nothing.
Pick whatever name you want.
Have you met Mordgraz Antil?
I'm sure I've seen him around. If he makes as much of a ruckus as he just did, then I'm sure I've been near his ruckuses.
I will say, Kudo, unless you feel strongly otherwise, you cannot ever remember not like introducing yourself to that person, let alone introducing yourself as Greg.
For sure. No, I agree. I have no idea. I've probably met a lot of people, and unless you're famous, you probably haven't stuck out to me. So
Uh,
and then yeah.
I drink my potion of healing and I'm fine again. I mean, level of exhaustion, so not exactly fine. I forget, you're using like the new exhaustion rules?
Yeah. So I think it's just a -1 to D20 checks and a -5 feet to movement speed.
I actually forgot what that was.
I don't know if I've updated it.
It was in your house rule thing.
Yeah, but I don't know if I updated it in journals. I have not.
2 times unless you changed it.
Just because of the nature of that interaction, I don't know if I would count that as an actual combat. Um, so I don't worry about the exhaustion.
Yeah.
We lost Peter. All right, so
Yeah, actually, looking it up, their exhaustion, I clearly never read their exhaustion rules before because it's you lose 5 times your exhaustion level in speed. So you can be reduced to 0 speed pretty quick for a normal character at least. And D20 tests are reduced by 2 times your exhaustion level, so it's a -2.
Mhm. It's just like it stacks, yeah.
Right. I mean that is of course way simpler than the system I've memorized long ago. So
mhm.
it feels complex, but it still works out though that I guess like by exhaustion level 3, your speed is essentially like for most characters reduced to 0 unless you're very mobile.
Yeah, and then the other thing is your save DC for your abilities are reduced by your exhaustion level.
That must be a micro.
Yeah. It's oh no, so my rule D20 rolls are reduced by your exhaustion level.
Okay.
Save DC is reduced by exhaustion level. Speed reduced by exhaustion level times 5. You still die if you reach 6 levels of exhaustion.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys are heading to the mortuary now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dobrun's gonna keep now kind of be alert, keeping his eyes out for well, his senses open, the path wide for any other potential pounders.
It is unfortunate now that I feel the urge to pound the next person who whistles.
I mean, you know what? Welcome to Pound Town.
Yeah, the pound where the pounding is contagious.
Everybody gets to pound.
And I'll just remember that Cadeau is pro. He just likes to watch when it comes to pounding.
Yeah, I don't like to get hands on, but if I do, it's not very fun for somebody. So that's why I don't do it.
So after a while, you manage to get the mortuary in sight. The mortuary stands in a hopeless area of the Hive. It's ringed by the slums of sigils unclean, those people who do not work that others won't touch. The mortuary surroundings are almost safe, since people here tend to be honest despite their wretched circumstances. Small alehouses, tanneries, and slaughterhouses fill the area. A fair amount of commerce surrounds the mortuary as well. And during daytime hours, you might expect to meet a number of unclean ones going about their business, children following them, begging for a few coins. Uh, but when it, because it's night and raining, very little is being seen. You see the occasional urchin holding a light waiting for somebody that would need light to pay for them to follow, but none are currently here. Of course, on the mortuary side of the street, there's not any sign of any commerce at all. Here's Peter. Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
So one black, somber gate leads into the jagged edifice of dark stone. The mortuary is a collection of dilapidated mausoleums piled together with no organization. Inside the gate, you are halted by, well, so are you approaching the gate to enter, or are you doing other things?
Here it
Let me
is.
see. Sorry, didn't mean to click that.
How long has it been?
Like maybe 20 minutes.
I yell out, Poundy McPounderson.
There's no response.
Not good, bro.
He
I do
So
probably
it
how
again.
killed.
how big is this complex?
It is quite large. It probably would, in terms of city block terms, it would be taking up an entire city block and several stories tall.
Well, I could do some reconnaissance, but I don't think I could search the whole building.
Is there any reason not to just go knock or whatever?
Right, bro.
We certainly could do that. My only concern is we do not actually know Eliath. So they may turn us away if they discover that we are just looking for someone we've never really met before. Though I think we have a good enough description of him, and we do know his name, which they may
Right, bro.
not.
That's how friends start. You don't know each other, and then you do, and then you're a friend. So it's got to start somewhere, bro.
Chaz, have you been enlightened before? Is that
Before, bro. Always. I was born enlightened, bro.
I see you are a follower of the path.
Dobrun is
Right,
like,
right, bro.
did we just become best friends?
It's like it really speaks to Dobrun.
See? I knew what I was doing. I knew whenever I saw this guy that he was going to be helpful for something.
It does concern me a bit that Poundy McPounderson hasn't showed up, bros. He said that we would yell and he would show up.
I
Uh,
did not think he was all there.
Chaz, give me
What
an
was missing,
insight
bro?
check. Give me an insight
We
check
hear
with advantage.
Okay, okay.
He's
So if you
dead,
fail
dude.
it, you really suck. What is this character's insight? Oh, I actually have insight. Okay. Oh, nice, bro.
And that moves you up on your, oh wait, you don't have this
No, not
subclass
yet.
Ah,
Gotta get us there.
that's too bad. I forgot real paladins, not BG3 paladins, get their subclass at 3 rather than 1.
Oh yeah.
Um so Chaz, you hear a little voice in the back of your head that says, "Only when you need pounding, bro."
Right on. All right, he's legit, bros. Okay.
What makes you say that? You called for him and he did not come?
Yeah, bro, but he only comes when there's a pounding to happen, bros, and I guess it's not happening right now. So we're okay. All right.
I thought you wanted him to come and pound that man in the gateway.
No, bro, just calling to make sure. I was seeing if he was, a bro of his word. If he wasn't just saying, slept just to say it, but he's legit.
I'm pretty sure he is what they call a basher. In perhaps the most literal sense of any of the bashers.
He might be a little barmy.
He is undoubtedly that.
Is there a reason to not go through the front?
No, only that they may turn us away. I doubt they will be hostile. They will probably let us through.
Let us.
Head up
So
to the
I-
gate.
we've had like a rough idea what this guy looks like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like shift myself to look like a descendant.
Okay. Give me a deception check with advantage.
Um,
Actually, no. Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay. So you managed to look very convincingly like somebody related.
Perfect. Just like, I'm like his son or something.
Whoa. All right, bro.
Makes it a lot easier, I'm sure. Maybe. I guess we'll see.
Well, hope he's got a good relationship with him, bro. Not, we may not even get in.
They undoubtedly do not know that much about the man's life. They just collect the bodies. Of course, they also believe that we're all already dead, so they may also be a bit barmy.
Indeed. Let's go check this place out.
Bros, we need to get in there, bros.
I
I'm just,
okay.
is that what Chaz just like walks up to these cars?
Yeah, exactly.
It's real important, guys. Real important.
So you walk up to 6 dustmen guards dressed in black. Each of them wielding scythes. And one of them, the
Little
one
on
that
nose.
was closest to you that you directed that says, what?
Right, bros. We need, first off, I just, I don't want to tell you how I get the dark cloaks and it's dark, but you're hard to see at night, bros. You might want to wear like an armband that glows or something, bro. It's hard to pick out in this rain. But anyway, there's a bro that we need to talk to.
You've been drinking.
H2O, bro. Keeping hydrated. My whiz is clear, bro.
Um,
He's got that tattooed on his arm.
the guard looks at you and says, "I want to talk to somebody else." Seeing that you're all a big group. What's your business here? You're all on your feet, so it doesn't look like you're being interred, nor do you
There is a
carry
man-
anybody that's not on their feet. So you're not
There is a-
collectors.
there is a man who we were told his body was found, and we need to see him. We knew him. And I will describe him with his squinty eyes and white beard and I think blue tunic.
I was he was like an uncle
His
of
name
mine or something.
his name was Eliath. And mourner Tom told us that they had found his body before, which means he was brought here.
Okay, so he's in the dead book.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well,
We do not know if he has been burned yet, but if not, we would like to see that he is here and then say our goodbyes.
you can speak to Tirana. She's in charge of interring any of the nameless sods who are brought in. Don't know if he's known by that name, live, whatever you said, but uh, if they came in, and if they came in recently, she'd know. So just give us a moment. And he nods at one of the other guards, who then walks away. A few minutes later, Tirana shows up, and let's see. So Tirana is tall and athletic. She's a pretty striking woman. Uh, this is what she looks like. And let me just share screen so that it gets captured on the. So she approaches and she says, I understand you're looking for a body.
Yes, exactly. We were told he was killed and that his body was found, and that we should check here before he is burned.
I see. Well, come with me. And she turns and shows you into the mortuary. Um,
Hey, care, bros. You know, a sash would work good too, bros. A colored sash, that work good too. I'd be able to see you at night, bro.
See them just fine.
so a shallow flight of marble steps sweeps up between two of the building's dark buttresses to a massive gate of copper-sheathed wood. Two small stone guardhouses stand at the bottom of the stairs. Several dustmen guards watch as you approach. Um, one of the guards gets up, but then sees that Tirana is with you and then sits back down. Further, you go to a flight of narrow steps that leads up to a sturdy iron-plated door located between two black buttresses. No guards are in sight. Uh, a priest of the Dustmen, signed as door warden, answers the knock that as Tirana knocks upon the door. The warden has two zombies in tow, opening the door slightly to see if you are turning in a body. But seeing Tirana, he opens the door and allows you forward. As you walk in, you see 4 tall arches lead into an open-air chamber of black marble. A single stone monument stands in the center of the room. In each corner, an oil-fueled brazier burns. The walls of the room are made of polished granite and are cornered with thousands of finely carved names in various languages. The impressive chamber features a tall, vaulted ceiling and a floor of polished black marble. The walls are decorated with dark geometric carvings. And then, so Tarana says, "Do you have the name?"
His name was Eliath, but we don't know if he had any identification on him when he was found. He's quite poor.
Um, well, I can check the dead book to see if there's an Eliath. But when we don't know where to send someone who's passed on, we incinerate them in the elemental plane of fire. Most barmies and bubbers fall in that category, so it may be too late to see your friend. Um, so she goes and she checks the dead book. Um, you see her flip back a few pages, and then she returns to you and says, there there is nobody by the name of Eliath in the book. So your friend or family, whoever he may be to you, is not been recorded. It's likely that he was sent to the elemental plane of fire. Of course, if you wish, you can see the bodies that have yet to be interred in the plane of fire.
We would wish. We would like to see him before he goes.
Okay. So she brings you to a room that is quite cold, much colder than the rest of the place, likely magically induced as such. You see your breath form in mist as you breathe out, and the moisture coalesces. There are several rows of tables. Um, each one seems to have a body placed upon it. All of them are completely nude, nothing covering them up. Some of the bodies are in worse shape than others, though all of them seem to be drained of any blood and fluids. Um, it's probably a few dozen individuals in the room. And she waves a hand and says, "You may look, these are all of the unnamed, unclean individuals that were brought in just this week."
What makes them unclean? Do you mean ritually or physically?
I mean, in the fact that if they're without names and they are without any connection, it is because they are likely of the worst class of individual, not worth anything. I consider them unclean.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
I
just
will
had bad luck.
I will accept that and to start looking over the bodies, walking around trying to find someone who matches the description of Eliath.
So you look around and you do not see Eliath.
So after doing, as thorough a search as I feel like I need to, I would just say to the group, I do not see him here. We may be too late.
Chaz is going to reach in and take some ink from his little ink bottle, put it on his finger. And then he is going to go to each of the bodies and make a stylistic star on their foreheads and say a prayer over them.
What are you doing?
You said they're unclean, unworthy. I'm preparing them so they are not unclean anymore, you know? Giving them the final send off before they're incinerated. Somebody's got to care for the poor bubbers and barneys and whatever you use for them.
But how can you know where it is that what they would wish for their final rites? How can you assume that they would be okay with you potentially desecrating their bodies with the symbols you are putting upon them? I may consider them unclean, but that does not mean that they were without their own beliefs.
Right, but you don't know who they are, so you don't know.
That's
And
true, but
besides,
neither do you.
we don't know if they'd turn it down.
Right, but that is why we inter them in the plane of fire, so that their remains are burned and that they can go on to whatever destination their souls would take them.
They're going to get there, don't worry.
Surely not everyone believes that burning a body after death is the proper way to dispose of them.
Perhaps not, but it is the only way that is safe and clean. I mean, can you imagine waiting for bodies to be otherwise disposed of?
I mean, we saw two zombies on the way in. Clearly, you do not have respect for the bodies.
Do not assume to know of the zombies and their origins. The zombies here come from the bodies of individuals that believe in the Dustmen. They died and have risen back to provide service, as was their final wishes. As we are all dead, just simply waiting for the final light to cease.
We are all also awesome. And that is the symbol he is putting on them, the star of awesomeness.
Would you want your body to be raised as an undead zombie?
Absolutely not. But I also would not want my body hucked into the plane of fire haphazardly and being called unclean by someone who does not know.
I am not going to allow you to continue doing what you're doing. If you wish to remain here in peace, you will stop. If you do not, I will call the guards and have you forcefully put out.
I don't know if I'd do that, bro. 2 words for you.
Joven's like,
I believe you have all overstayed your welcome. You have not found your friend, so please leave.
I look to Chaz to see if he says those 2 words.
I'm waiting. I'm going fast now. Saying prayers.
Um, all right. So if you're continuing to make marks upon their heads, she's going to call the guards. And
I look to the group to see how the group is reacting. Are they giving me the stop, or are they giving me we're ready to fight, or indifference?
I'm looking like
okay.
I'm about to dip out.
Okay. Okay.
yeah, like 1 foot out the door.
So, not knowing anything about your religion, but figuring it's got to be more rational than their philosophy, I am just sort of interestedly watching.
All right. I'm not here to start a fight. I will stop and say a prayer over the rest of them. However many there are in the room, I haven't gotten to.
Uh, so she has the guards escort you out. A dozen dusters with scythes and probably a half dozen zombies walk you out
Okay. All
the
right.
door.
Okay. All right, Tirana. I'll say even a prayer for you, bro. Don't worry. Maybe the light will find you. You could be awesome too. Don't worry.
I think you overestimate Tirana.
She
Some people,
underestimates the power of awesome, bro.
she's just not cool.
She could be.
I think that train has left.
There's
When
always a chance, bro.
Or whatever Sigel's version of that phrase is.
I feel like the Paladin of Awesome should have a power that's called "You used to be cool, bro." That
Makes them fucking just sit down and think about their life.
right.
Well,
Like
there is
if
the
you
ability to turn the uncool.
there you go. But I can imagine like if you fail on some like social skill check, you can use the "You used to be cool, bro" card to reroll.
They're scolding you for some reason. You used to be cool.
Um, at that moment, before the guards have fully escorted you out, uh, Utameth, you realize that Kithri had asked you to check uh if if names that had passed through the gatehouse were included in the dead book at the mortuary.
So I would yell that out before they escort us out, though we may have closed the door on that and say that we have other names that we would like to see if they're in the dead book.
Uh,
And I would say, like, there have been a rash of people who've been killed recently, many of whom may be of this sort of unclean versions that you think. But we would like to at least know. And then we will leave and cause you no more trouble.
Nobody's body's involved. So
um, give me a persuasion check.
Wow.
nice.
Hell yeah.
But seeing how those symbols of cool inspired.
yeah.
That's right.
Mm.
Fine. The rest of you will leave with the guards. I will take two of you, and she signals at the guards. Come with me. We will let this one determine if there's any others that they need to pay their respects to.
I will accompany you, Uthermouth.
I am very happy that it was Dobrun, the handsome one.
Fine. She looks a bit miffed that you invited yourself when she just said that Uthermeth would be allowed to go, but she doesn't give any struggle as long as Chaz is not included. Um, so in
Well,
terms,
she said there were two of you could go, right?
That's That's what I heard too.
Oh no,
That two
she
of us could
signaled
go.
to two of the guards
To the guard.
that two
Oh,
of
I
those
see.
guards would accompany her with Uthermeth,
Oh, okay.
but that the rest of the guards would accompany the rest of you out.
Oh, okay.
That's yeah. I was with them.
So
Um,
I would go then if only one of us gets to go.
no, it's okay, because maybe Dobrun misunderstood Piranha.
Yeah.
Or again, another
She's
thirsty woman wants Dobrin.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, Dobrun has aura.
He has a powerful build, they
He's
say.
got the yeah. He's Sigma Mu in these bitches. Whatever the kids say nowadays. I hate that I know as much as I do about that. Anyways. Um, so a little bit of a what is that called? Um a bit of a revamp because you were supposed to go back for the names for Kethri, but we'll say that Kethri had already given you the names. Um, so you check them within the dead book, as well as using the descriptions of the people to check those that have not yet been interred, and you see several of them, whether they were named or not. That either fit the description or their names have been entered into the dead book. So
So they do
Kithri's,
have description in the dead book?
they do,
Or
yeah.
okay. And we
Um,
just couldn't find anything that sounded like Eliath.
uh, you know what? When it's clear that Tirana didn't look too closely, but on the second way around with the descriptions, there is a description of an individual that matches the description of Eliath. And so Tirana then says, I think the one you were looking for is in the dead book. Their description, at least, if not their name. Looks like they were just sent to the plane of fire yesterday.
It is unfortunate that we were so late. If only we had known that he was dead. We just assumed he was lost. Well, I thank you for letting me check these other names.
If there's nothing else, and then she nods for the guards to escort you out.
Nothing else from me. May you walk the path.
Kind of look at you when you say that, not really understanding, and go, "Psst." So you're all uh, re uh, reunited outside the gate, having been escorted by all of the guards and zombies who, once you're outside of the gate, somewhat disperse, although a few remain just in case you decide to be a problem.
Chaz, what was the spiritual significance of putting that star on the body's heads?
Was to give them last rites, bro.
What does that mean? They're dead. Surely their souls are not still in those bodies.
I don't know, bro. They're somewhere. Maybe, and there's still a chance they could be marked with the with the awesome. So wherever they're going, they'll be awesome, bro.
You have very different beliefs than I have, but I was just curious as to whether or not there was some significance to it, or if you were just trying to piss them off.
No way, bro.
If anyone deserves to be pissed off, it's these guys. And I just like point to the guards who I imagine are like right behind me.
So we were too late, but we were at least able to confirm that the people who brought here were dead. And that Eliath was among them.
So the good news is we will be able to go back to our patron with a result. Unfortunately, I don't think this was the result he wanted. And then the other good news is we got this done fast, so we only have to be paid for 1 day's work. We will build up a wonderful reputation for efficient work.
Or they'll see you as the cheap ones.
Yes, but that's a good thing. We got as good a result as anyone could have gotten in the least amount of time.
You know, around here, people would say that they should charge extra for that.
Now, those must be people who don't need the reputational benefits.
I think they're seeking the money benefits.
Possibly. But Blue and True, we are an up-and-coming investigation service.
Yeah.
As long as I can continue to sleep in the back,
Oh, sure.
we'll keep going.
Whenever you want to pay me to do something, you let me know.
And Chaz got to bless many souls who, if his religious philosophy is correct, are now doing better and are awesome.
That's right, bro. No payment needed here, bro.
Chaz, is there a plane of awesome?
I like to think so, bro.
Which one is it?
It could be all of them, bro.
Awesome. All right, so you're saying awesome could be found anywhere?
Could be.
That's deep.
I feel like that is not true.
What do you mean?
I mean, I've heard about many of the planes, and they don't all sound that awesome.
That doesn't mean that you can't find awesome there. That's what Chaz is saying. I got you, man.
Dobrun's like seeing this kind of green, what he sees anyway, like this green kind of river, like swirling around Chaz. Like, and this guy's got it going on.
Well, we done for the day, bros? Meet up tomorrow. Is there more work, bro?
Nope. We're done.
Excellent, bro.
What, it's nighttime, so,
Right.
and it's raining. I think I'll head back to the office and dry out my clothes.
It's a whole other district. Better follow me.
Right. I mean, it's a very long walk from where we are back to the office.
Well,
Might be more economical to stay at the butcher's block.
I'm not sure she would welcome us back there.
I
She'd
think I'm
welcome
gonna
one
go
of
back
you.
to the office.
I think if you pay for food and drink, she'll welcome you just fine.
Yeah, she only really has meat chunks.
Yeah, but it's in a goop.
Right, but if
you
you
gotta
only
eat it
if
together.
you only have the goop, she gets mad at you.
It's because it's not as good.
Are there other inns that are in the area or a nearby area that we could check out?
You mean you don't want to go there?
Dobrun would avoid it.
But it's the most prestigious. It's going to be the safest. We're in the Hive Ward. Anything can happen here. If you want to find a small one, we could find a small one.
And it's been established, whatever Dobrun and Three Tooth get up to, Cadeau likes to watch. Well,
Oh,
we could
what do
try
you mean?
to
They're
go.
going to be pounding? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Maybe we can go back to the butcher's block. If we bring Poundy McPounderson.
Only when it's necessary.
I don't know what his definition of necessary might be, though.
But also, if Poundy McPounderson shows up, there's going to be some pounding.
That's right. Then you can't get out of it.
It's pound or be pounded.
If Poundy had his way, it would be both.
Pound and be pounded.
The best of both worlds.
It's a pound circle. A circle pound.
It's a train. There we go. We invented the train.
So yeah,
I do not like Poundy McPounderson.
Why ever for?
So Uthermath wouldn't necessarily object if we want to go back to the butcher's block and see if we can stay there overnight. Uh, he's just not enthusiastic about it because she basically hated him.
And listen, you could, because we got to stay out here, because it would take forever to get back.
Right.
You get to charge like the morning, charged for the morning at least. Okay.
Right. So our agreement did include expenses, so that we have to stay here. I do think that would be sort of covered by the agreement since we were here for work and just can't get home in a reasonable way at this hour. So I agree with that we would charge the guy for this expense.
Well, you got your travel time back in the morning though.
Right.
Get charged for that.
Right. I mean, like I said this before when we took the coach here, we could take like another coach back pulled by gargoyles, and I think that would also count transportation cost. But yeah, let's go back to the butcher's block.
Dobrun just kind of lowers his head very well.
You coming with Chaz?
I guess so, bros.
Start walking that way.
In the morning, we do have to go back to the gatehouse, or at least I do, before we go back.
What is it?
We have to tell my friend Gathiri that those people's names are in the book. And that he can stop searching to see if Eliath had stayed at the gatehouse, since that is no longer relevant. We can also tell him that there is some evil force killing all of the bashers.
Very well. Will be the perfect last thing we do before we head back to the office.
All right, so you manage. Oh,
I was just like, I'm tired. Do I get a room? Do we have to go into the common room?
Who is Kado talking to?
I'm just checking. I'm making sure I'm involved in the staying of the nights. I don't have any money.
That's
What's the
true. It is entirely possible she will charge like 20 gold like she does for everything else, in which case I don't have enough money to stay here.
We will
We'll
see.
have to sell Dobrun services to get a room.
Get a stand-in.
Right. And then Dobrun will have to yell for Poundy McPounderson to come take the pounding.
Well,
Um,
if if it is a reasonable price, Kado, I can I can cover your cover your room.
You're a great guy.
You owe me.
I'm showing you all my shortcuts. What do you mean?
I'm just saying there's a favor.
I okay. That's fair. You are, yeah, I'm being paid for this. That's fair. But you are, again, you're seeing my shortcuts. So, it's the
Fair.
reason why this is the reason why you pay me. What if you learn all of them, then, what are you going to pay me for?
Your charming good looks.
Well, I can have any charming good looks I want, and I like shift into look like Chaz. I just don't glow. Really, I could be fine.
There's more to you. There's more to you than just your knowledge of the world. You offer There's so much more that you can offer us.
I mean, if you want to pay for that, then go for it.
I don't really handle the money. That's an Uther math.
Hey, Uthi.
I have nothing to pay you for. You will be paid when I am paid by our client. But other than that,
I look forward to it.
I am not really sure what the Dobrun would be paying you for, since Dobrun already offered to pay for your room.
Well, just saying you have more, there's more to you, there's more that you have to offer than just your knowledge of the streets.
I'm just like it's like slap on the shoulder. All right, preacher man, let's get these rooms.
all right, so you heading to the butcher's block first, or are you going to the gatehouse?
Butcher's block. We'll go to the gatehouse in the morning.
Okay. Um, so you all head back to the butcher's block,
Does
and
Cadeau keep looking like less shiny Chaz?
Um, no, I think I'd probably shift back to this one. Like once we like got moving again, or go like at least just before we got there. I don't know how long we would have been really walking, but
Okay.
Looks
Well,
good on
it's
you,
about
bro.
probably about a 30-minute walk. Um, so it's pretty late at night. It's like 11:30, probably close to midnight. When you finally get to the butcher's block, it stops raining just before you get there, of course. And as you enter, uh, what order do you enter in?
I
Dobrun was the
mean,
last.
I would push Dobrun forward.
He's like,
We are
he's
we
just
are
gonna
trying to,
stand there.
yeah, and you're like an elephant and I'm not. So I'm just like, but I would be like, we are trying to put our best foot forward.
So Dobrin, what do you do as you want to go in last, but others are pushing you forward, go first?
I mean,
while while
Dobrun
they while they argue about it, I walk in.
Dobrun's an 8 foot tall elephant.
I am a
And he's not moving.
rail thin, no powerful build. I mean, my strength is 10. I did dump my strength completely, but I don't actually assume I'm moving the elephant who doesn't want to move.
Like pushing a brick wall.
Right. I imagine, in fact, like I am full on like leaning at a 45-degree angle.
Feet sliding in the dirt.
So as you enter, Trunfeld goes, "Ah, you've come back. Are you finally willing to part with that jink to get that information?" And then she sees Dobrin enter and she's like, she has this look of, uh, wait, s- uh, uh, are you
Meat chunks,
are you
please.
with them?
What do you mean?
Yes, these are my friends.
Oh, my sweet cheeked Luxodon. You with them? Really?
Yes, we work together.
You, you work together.
We do.
Huh.
It's good to see you again, Trinfell.
Oh, it's so good to see you too. I'm I'm happy as a pack of clams.
He kind of shudders.
Ew, don't mention clams.
um,
we we are in need of a room or a couple rooms. Do you have vacancies open?
let me give me 1 minute. Do something real quick.
I'm okay with a corner. Yeah, imagine like Dobrin tries to like he sleeps in corners and like doesn't mind sleeping on the floor. And he's like kind of that dog that thinks it's still a puppy, where he thinks he can just like get into a corner and just kind of like be out of the way, but he's totally in the way because he's so big.
All right. I'm going to send message. All right. So you wanting a room? How many rooms you wanting?
Two should be sufficient.
And which one you gonna be in, sweet cheeks? My, are you gonna be in a solo room? Because you're quite large. I think one room is probably what will fit you.
Oh, I guess we will need three then.
So you are getting your own room.
If the rooms are that small that I have to we cannot share, then yes.
I'll tell you what. These here heathens buy 2 rooms, you get yours free.
What is the cost per room?
3G.
That
Seem-
is acceptable.
All right, that'll be 6G then. Any of you's gonna stick around for some gruel with meat hunks? Maybe gonna get more argument about the without meat hunks?
I'm in.
I am ready to go to the room.
Myself as well. I must meditate.
What about you with the locks?
I gotta get my beauty rest. Seriously, the room.
And you want to take your meat hunks and gruel up to the room, or you gonna eat it down here?
I'm I'm good, bro.
Oh, that was at Kiddo.
I'll leave it down here.
All right. So she pours some of the gruel with meat hunks in it, uh, and hands it to Kiddo and then says, "All right, that'll be a jink."
It's my last jink.
A jink well spent then. All right, I'll show the rest of you to your rooms. Follow me.
So I will pay her the 6 gold.
Okay. So she takes you to your 3 rooms. 2 of them are right next to each other. And she directs you guys to, split it however you want. And she signals at Dobrun, your room's down the hall a little bit.
Very well.
I'm gonna watch to see what room Dobrun goes in.
Yeah, he goes in the direction that she mentions.
So it's the farthest room possible from the rest of the group. Uh
I,
but
I just imagine him walking really slow and like looking back every once in a while.
But when she opens it up and moves aside for you to go into it, it doesn't appear to be a furnished room or anything. It is like one of the rented rooms. And she says, this is your last chance to maybe try to bunk together. You get a little bit of nah, some you know, maybe I could give you a trunk massage.
Go to Pound Town.
I appreciate it, but I'm tired. I do know somebody who called themselves Poundy McPounderson, who is interested in going to Pound Town. Perhaps I can call him as a stand-in.
I I honestly don't know what to say to that. But are you really with these guys?
Does this surprise you?
A bit.
Why?
Because you so big and you and they so eh.
Well, they need protection. See,
Maybe they do.
I'm the muscle.
Of that, there's no denying.
And they handle the other, other aspects of the business. But when it comes to a good fight, that's where I can step in.
Well, my sweet little Luxodon, you have a sweet night, and I hope you dream of me because I know I'm going to be dreaming of you.
You too. He kind of like shudders. Trunfeld.
He's like, I am literally a monk.
And yeah, as soon as she leaves, he's gonna like move whatever furniture is in this room against the door. Hopefully it opens inwards.
I just figured you were sleeping in front of it. It's normally to keep burglars out this time.
Are you good, bro? I hear a lot of noise in there. I'm gonna go down and check. As soon as she leaves, I'm going down and check on her.
You hear through the door. Yes. Hopefully it'll be a restful night. These rooms aren't that small.
Do you need me to stay in there with you, bro?
I wouldn't mind.
But I've already piled the stuff in front of the door.
But you don't have to. I can also handle myself.
All right, bro. You just holler.
Will do.
Hmm.
So I assume Fisk and I will share a room.
Okay. And then Chaz is in the other room. And Cadeau is downstairs. So Trunfeld, 3 teeth, lumbers her way down the steps.
Humming, I
And-
touch myself.
What's that?
Humming, I
Oh.
touch myself.
The divinal son.
Right.
And then she kind of goes about her business while Cadeau and is eating, and there are a couple of other patrons also kind of going about their business. The most are shuffling off to their quarters by now or leaving.
it's dying down in here. They don't speed up at night or anything.
No. Maybe if the weather was a bit better.
I don't see any reason why. I feel like Cadeau would probably just sort of scarf his food down. So he was probably about done whenever she was walking down the steps. So he was just like, bring the bowl over to the counter and say, which one's fine?
I'll show you to it. And she shows you.
I said, did he turn you down again?
Scram.
Keep at it. Keep at it. I'm sure you'll get it one day.
Mind's business.
I go inside the room.
Chaz is in his sleeping clothes, wearing his sunglasses, already asleep.
So cool.
At very least, so prepared that he brings sleeping clothes with him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just figured that was part of my set
Starting
of fine
equipment.
clothes. So come on.
Comes with a pair of matching pajamas.
Yes.
This is what I envision. That where is it? This is what I envision Chaz is wearing. Where? The nightshirt Eugene Levy wore in
Like a
Schitt's
long
Creek.
shirt, dude.
Not cool, bro. Not cool.
Yeah, but the difference is he makes it look good.
Right.
Right.
Of course. He makes it look like, wait, why don't I wear that to bed?
Right. Everyone else looks like Eugene Levy in that same thing, but
Are there two beds, or what's the situation in the room?
Yeah, there's two beds in the room.
Yeah.
Dobrun has like one of them pushed up against the door. Okay, just push them both up against the door next to each other and you could sleep there for the added heft.
Exactly. That's probably what he would do. Ain't nobody getting through that door.
That's true, though. She certainly would have sent you to a room with like the one king size bed in case she got lucky.
So is there anything that you guys are doing before bed?
I mean, I imagine I would be a little slow to get to bed just because this is not the best part of the city and there's a killer on the loose. So I probably would stay up for a bit, but then doze off. Otherwise, I don't have anything specific that I need to get done. I would take out some paper and consolidate like my memories of the day, writing them down.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Especially everything related to Eliath and the names from the book, the dead book.
And Chaz, Godot.
Sounds like Chaz is asleep.
Yeah, also Chaz has a hair bonnet, so his locks don't get damaged while sleeping.
Right.
So it's very important.
Definitely.
And once again, it's like, I used to think those were stupid looking, but see how cool they are now.
It's the sunglasses.
Right. I had to get me a hair bonnet.
It'll slowly just percolate around the group where we all go to sleep with sunglasses and hair bonnets.
Cadeau would probably like talk to. Well, I mean that I guess nobody would know what Cadeau was doing. Maybe I just email you.
Okay.
I doubt I probably nothing of consequence happens from it, but at least there's record of it.
And Dobrun, what are you doing?
Dobrun is meditating after having pushed all the furniture against the door. Um, and then he will just go to sleep.
I'm not sure how comfortable Fisk will be sleeping on a bed. Like he's like a forest dweller. So I don't know. I don't know what he'll do.
Become soft and accompany them. Used to now they
I mean, he might be more comfortable just like throwing a blanket on the floor and sleeping on top of it. But hearing no screams from Dobrin, I will go to sleep.
I mean,
Unless I do hear screams from Dobrin, in which case I will go to sleep shuddering.
I mean, he's a big giant elephant. They're pretty loud. They can make some noises.
That's true.
It'll
If I
wake you up.
hear right, if I hear like loud trumpeting sounds, figure I guess he likes it.
Spot sensitive.
nobody starts playing taps. We know.
All right.
Something I never thought about Loxodons, but that actually would be sort of cool is if they could just loudly trumpet to signal everyone in a large area.
One would think. I mean, as like a something the trunk could do.
Right. I mean, it's just a flavor thing, so I don't know why why any DM would be like, nope, the PH, the book doesn't say so.
All right. Sorry, I'm just figuring something out real quick.
At some point, assuming I do go to sleep, at some point I imagine I will wake up having had a nightmare. And when I open my eyes, I just see Poundy McPounderson there going, it's pounded time. And he just starts hitting me. And then I wake up again.
Heard you need a pounding. How'd you open the door?
Right. He's standing there on top of my bed, completely naked.
Except for the box.
Except the box.
Yeah.
And those pink scars, he got them elsewhere too.
Yeah, the pink scars go all the way.
All right, so each of you are fast asleep. Some of you may be dreaming. Some of those dreams might be better than others. And then, Chaz, you, for whatever reason, you kind of turn over and you just kind of look up and you see somebody over your bed in dark clothes with a knife poised over you.
Okay.
Going for the locks.
And everybody roll initiative. Everybody but Chaz is surprised. Slash not conscious.
Is there is there a map? Or are we getting tokens?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make one up on the fly right here.
It's interesting that they changed the little initiative decimal modifier to your actual dexterity score, plus or minus.
I did.
Because it used to just be that they added like, 0.4 times your ability modifier. Whereas now Chaz got minus 0.08, which is 1 times an 8 score. And I got positive 0.16, which is because I have a 16 dex. It means that there's a slight benefit to having like a 16 over a 15 over, and a 17 is slightly better again. Uh-oh, she's back. Oh,
All right, so now let's.
she just hated Chaz and his little holy symbol so much.
So
He came to
much.
stab him.
Yep. Here's this. This is what I think about your awesome.
So
Turn uncool. She runs away.
Not yet. Not there yet.
Is it?
It's inside you. You just have to believe in it, in yourself, and you'll be able to.
Mhm.
It'll manifest. It's manifest destiny.
So those are beds and then dressers and then sitting table. And then Dobrun's room.
Dobrun is going to spend the whole fight just moving things away from the door.
Get your guys' tokens. So
I mean,
Chaz.
in Dobrun's room, everything should be against the door. And that's when you discover the door opens out into the hall.
Ah, he would have tested it.
Okay, and then No, that's not the bad captain. Okay. And here, turn order.
That's true. So we're rolling initiative each round now. That's like the
Yes.
new rule because we haven't gotten to do this yet.
So, yeah, and that will be. So I think I can do that with one click each time. But okay, so why is the turn order showing up here like this, but in mine it's not? In my mail, that's weird. '19. Okay, can you guys re-roll your initiative and I'll just put the correct initiative in there?
Yep.
So you want us to re-roll it?
You click your token and re-roll.
Okay.
I
I
don't
should have
see
done
my
that
token.
first.
For some reason, Tony, I have yours in there.
Yeah, I waited.
Oh.
I don't see my token.
Oh, right. I forgot to put yours up there.
So I would not have my apparatus on. So you're aware.
Okay.
I would not sleep in that thing. That would be like sleeping in armor. Crazy.
And then Chaz, you gotta wait, 8, and then Dobrun. Okay. So Dobrun, you're still unconscious. Uh, Tony, you're still unconscious. So the bandit is gonna move and attempt to hit. Hmm. I'm realizing I didn't think about this too strongly because technically those who are still unconscious would be critical hits and immediately.
I mean, you could waive that rule this one time if you want. or TPK. Thank you for playing Planescape. I look forward to
Actually,
resuming a solo campaign with just Frank.
um, no, actually, that gives me a better idea. So, no, I'm gonna do that. All right, so we're gonna do. All right, Utamat, you take 4 damage. Uh, Kiddo, you take 3 damage. And Chaz, as each of you find yourself being struck by different weapons, and Chaz, this person is attacking you, but you get a
Okay.
chance to, they're actually going to roll that attack.
So I guess green is our hit points now.
Uh,
It seems to be for my token at least.
green is
'Cause I
hit points,
reduced-
red is vitality.
Right.
Yeah. Um. So. So he actually misses you as he brings his sword down. Kiddo and Uthermeth, you are now conscious, having been attacked. And Uthermeth, now it's your turn.
Let me see what I can do. Oops.
Dobrun, go ahead and give me a perception check at disadvantage to see if you can hear what's going on and get roused by it.
No.
So what
Right.
is this? Just so I understand it, what does my attacker look like? Like species wise?
So your attacker specifically seems to be a squat, shorter, dwarf-looking person. So if he's actually a dwarf or just looks like a dwarf, you don't know.
So I will stand up out of bed so that I'm not at least laying prone using however much movement. Um, and then from my equipment, I am going to pick up my spell component pouch because my apparatus is my focus, but I also have a spell component pouch because I'm anal retentive.
Just for such occasions.
Right. And then I'm going to cast sleep on him.
He falls asleep.
And do I hear the other people in distress?
Oh, hey, what the heck was that for?
Yes.
Okay. Then I would make my way to the door. I wouldn't go out yet. I only have like 15 feet of movement left. But I would step over this dude and let him sleep. Uh, and go to the door and pause for my next round so that I can prepare before I step out into the hallway with my 3 hit points.
Okay. Um,
Oh, is the door open? Can I see into the hallway or did he close it when he came in?
the door is closed.
Okay. Considerate of
Yeah.
him.
Also, I do want to let you guys know before all this happened, I did secretly roll perception checks to see who would take notice. So it's not just me being like, oh, Chaz is the best player tonight. So
I saw you move my
But
sheet.
right. But he is the best player, so
all right, so let's see if the Shadow Knave notices.
I assume you gave me the benefit of observant.
I did not.
Doesn't matter. Next time, though.
Part of the apparatus.
Yeah. uh so this guy standing at the door notices or hears the sound of a thump and thinks that's weird given the circumstances of what they're doing. But he's not going to check it out, and he's just going to kind of continue to watch and supervise the two that he's watching. Chaz, your turn.
Okay, all right, bros. All right, I'm going to assume we have not had a long rest.
You have not.
Okay, all right. All right, I'll take that into account. I will, so this dude tried to stab me. He missed.
Yep.
Shit. Now we have these like special features that go with different weapons, but I don't remember which weapon. I think Pierce goes with the flail
Here.
because the
I
rapier
can-
has flourish, but I don't have that thing in front of me, so.
Let me look it up real quick for you. Which weapon are you using?
Flail.
No. It's got Heartstopper and Sap.
Oh, okay, so I'm way off. Not even close. I guess I did Heartstopper and Sap. Okay, so I guess Flourish and Pierce go with the rapier. I'll just use the rapier then.
Yeah, Flourish and Pierce with the rapier.
Okay, I guess yeah, I didn't put that one in. My bad. Um, I'm
I
gonna
mean,
grab
if
my
you want to use, wait, do you not have Heartstopper and Sap like written down in there?
I don't have written down, but I wanted to use either Flourish or Pierce, and I thought there were one with each weapon, but if it's just with the rapier, that's fine. That's
Okay.
all right. Shit. I'm gonna assume I can't grab my shield and my weapon at the same time. I'm gonna grab my weapon, stand
Well, you
up.
can grab your weapon, uh, and you can put on your shield. It's just it's an action to put on your shield, and it also depends on where your shield is. If it's next to the
Right.
bed,
I'm
if
just
you're
figuring
against
it.
it.
Yeah, for now I'm just gonna get the rapier, stand up and stab this dude.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Yes.
We have action points, don't we?
Yes, you do.
Do we have
One.
one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm using it because I want to kill this guy.
It's a hit.
Okay. Is he still up?
He is.
I'm going to use Pierce so I can do an additional D12 damage.
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah, yeah.
Can you
So
post the
roll a
ability?
D12.
Do you have it there?
Shit. Let's see. If you hit an enemy with your weapon, you can choose to
Oh, you
deal like
just choose to deal. Yeah. So
yeah,
once per
one,
short or
two.
long rest. So yeah, just roll a d12 and add it.
Okay. Uh, one. Good grief. Pile of shit. All right. So he takes 5 damage.
Okay. You get him through the arm and you see blood pouring from the wound, and he was not expecting that. He was not expecting you to wake up at all. So he has this wide-eyed look in his eye. Dobrun, go ahead and give me another perception check.
Right. Nope.
Okay.
Really tired.
If you want to use an action point, I will allow the path to wake you up without needing a check.
Yeah, I can use an action point.
Okay. So you awaken and you don't know why you awaken, but you feel drawn to the door and feel your friends may be in danger.
Yeah, he sees like the green river slowly kind of flying, uh, going through the door. He grabs his battle axe and would go out. He would go out. Let's see.
He's a monk that wields a battle axe?
He's not a
No,
monk.
yeah, I don't think he's a real monk.
fighter.
Oh, okay. I don't know why.
I said earlier he's a
Oh,
monk,
okay.
but I meant religious monk.
Yeah, that's about 30 feet or so.
Oh, wait. So that's not. So first of all, is there stuff in front of your door?
Oh yeah, I guess he would have to he'd have to spend some time.
Barrel right through that shit, man. What do you mean?
Toss it aside.
Yeah, just heave it out of the way.
Kool-Aid
Yeah.
man, that shit.
Yeah, he's gonna
He runs right through the wall and leaves the door.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to quite just break stuff like he probably would otherwise. So he just kind of pulls whatever's in front of the door and kind of moves it.
Okay. I would say you can do that easily as an action. I mean, you're pretty strong, and I imagine you would have positioned it so that you could get out quickly if you need to. So you move the stuff from the door, and then
Yeah, and then
hold on, because it's not drawn to scale, and there's still another obstacle that you're not aware of. So you get to the door and you open it, and Trunfeld is in front of the door. As you open it, she turns and she says, "No, you can't go out there. They'll kill you."
I'd like to see them try.
Oh, sweetie, don't. You don't want none of this smoke.
Move, Trunfeld.
I can't let them hurt you.
I said move.
What are you gonna do? You gonna chop me with that cleaver?
Come on, you gotta be stronger than this bitch. Come on.
Don't make me.
I was picturing them being closer in size.
Yeah.
This isn't a fight that you need to be a part of.
Oh, my sweet baby, Luxie. She moves out of the way and allows you to pass. Now this isn't been drawn to scale because I didn't make the hallways, but it's about 30 feet to Uthermath's door. As you walk by, Trunfeld grabs that ass and she says, "I had to have a taste before you go."
He just shakes his head.
Yeah, she may not have another chance.
Yeah.
She shakes his head and he walks past her. And I think that would be his turn.
Okay. Tony.
All right, then. Like I imagine, sort of like back against the wall, like tried to kill me. No one's ever tried to kill me before. My eyes just go black, and I'm gonna reach out and cast inflict wounds.
Okay.
Let's see here. I gotta. Here we go. Give me no. Inspiration
You mean action point?
or action point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I call them inspiration in my game. Be better. Ugh.
the miss.
That's so annoying. Look at that fucking damage. That guy was gonna fucking melt. If I could have action points just to get the other roll, I mean, I'd have done that.
You know what? This one time, this is not setting a precedent, but just because of the image that I'm imagining, I will allow that. And also
All right.
just to give you guys a chance.
Yeah. So I mean, that would be a thing. So what, was I stabbed? What was it? What was it?
You were hit in the face with a club.
Okay, well that's
So you're
less
gonna have
cool.
a pair of black eyes and a swollen nose, if
I
not broken.
I'm gonna say I probably don't have the black eye. I won't get black eyes, but I will have the swollen nose.
Okay.
Well, except I can reshape that, but
Yeah.
um, okay, that's a shame. That didn't get shown then.
Huh?
That it's fine.
Well, describe how the magic works and you kill him.
Oh, yeah. So it's an instinctual thing that happens when the eyes go black. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever done it before. Um, and it just it just completely happens on its own. Like, don't this guy tried to kill me? No, and then I release this uh energy that I think feels great. Whatever's happening, um, into his body, and it's basically just cuts appear all over his body, flaying the guy alive.
Bogus.
He's
So he
trying to kill me.
screams blood-curdling cries as his flesh cuts up to ribbons without any apparent reason or weapon to do so, and blood seeps from those wounds, soaking his clothing, pooling at the floor until falls lying in that ever-growing puddle gore. What else are you doing?
Um, so there's a person here.
Yes.
I just look at him like, are you in charge? Is there a
Uh,
window?
there is, um, right here. There's a large window over the dressers.
Okay.
What floor are we on?
Second floor.
So maybe don't dive out the window.
No, yeah. Um, yeah, and I think after that, I'll just sort of take a step over into this corner, but like I still in the bed, high up, keeping a little bit of a height advantage. I'm not very tall, but
Mm-hmm.
not normally at least.
Okay.
Who the hell are these guys? And as I say to Chaz, I don't know if there's a chance. I probably don't have a chance to really examine the person. So, um, yeah, I think that's it
No,
for
but
me
one
for
thing
now.
you can tell is that they're dressed very similarly to the guy that you found uh at when you encountered the dancing guy.
Okay, the guy
The
what do we
guys
do
we
with that
fought.
guy?
Yeah, the guy
Okay,
you fought and captured.
okay, yeah, okay. Did we get like an organizational name by chance from that guy? I don't remember what we got from that guy.
No.
He was just a bodyguard. He didn't really
Yeah.
know that much.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So now Bandit's turn. That one's asleep. That one just watched his buddy get like creamed. So he's terrified, but he looks at the guy behind him and is even more terrified. And also he's blocking his way, so he doesn't really have a choice. So he just strikes out at Chaz, not really knowing what else he can do.
Hmm.
And that's his turn. Uthermeth.
Do we re-roll initiative at some point?
Oh
Or-
shit. Let's do that now. So let's see if it will work.
Just remember that that 15 guy already went. Somebody already went.
Do you need to clear it or anything before I hit the roll?
I think he has a button to re-roll everybody.
Yeah. You know what? No, we're gonna finish the round and then we're gonna re-roll the initiative. I'll clear it and we'll finish it. Because we got
Okay.
Uthermeth, then the other guy, and then we got Chaz. And then that'll be the start of the next round.
So I open the door and run out, and I see Dobrun there, and I am startled to go, duh, and slap him. Then and then apologize. And then I will move this way. It's 5, 10, 15. Oh, good.
It's right next door, so yeah, that's actually reflective of the distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I will open the door and see that there's someone right there.
Mm-hmm.
Go, and slap him.
I expected this one a little bit more than somebody right outside my door. Don't have any great close range spells, but I'm going to, at disadvantage, cast Chill Touch on the person right in front of me.
Okay. So that's a hit.
So that's my turn. I know I'm out of movement anyway.
All right. And so this person turns to you and what is he gonna do?
If it helps her think, I'm not looking so good. I'm clearly pleading.
So this person, you so seeing you and seeing that guy, that the Luxodon behind you, and seeing that the Luxodon has this big old thing, he's going to say, on your knees.
I will at least take a moment to say, that is 3 words. I'm on the wrong page. Wisdom save.
That's me.
Okay.
Next time, just kneel. Just kneel is all you have to say.
It was a goblin word that means on your knees.
I see. There you go. The cheat for command is just find the right language in which to make the command.
Right. German is a great language for that.
Right.
Yeah. So is Icelandic.
Yeah.
All right, Chaz.
Bro, you cut the threads and I'm bleeding on it. Not cool. And I will attack him with my rapier again. 15.
You kill him.
Okay. Not cool, bro. And I'm going to bonus action. I am going to do lay on hands on myself. Got 2 points left. I get 2 hit points back.
Okay.
Start to heal up.
Anything else? Anything else?
I will move. Let's see. Over here. Is this where the window sort of is? I'm going to go
Yeah.
and stand in front of the window.
Yeah. Give me an acrobatics check just because you're jumping from a bed to a dresser.
Okay. If it involves any kind of, okay, jumping, I'm not. I'm going to step down onto the floor. I'm not foolish enough to do acrobatics. Yeah. So
Just
if
hop
I
down,
can't
stand
stand
in
on
front of the
that,
dresser.
yeah, I'll stand in front of it. I'm not, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's bad.
Is the window open?
No, the windows are not open. All right, so now let's clear the turn order and see if this is gonna work. Should happen with just one button.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hell yeah.
This is the promise of the computer age.
So we're gonna have one bandit, so get rid of him, get rid of him. All right, so Dobrun, you're up. Uthermeth on deck. This weird elf-looking guy in the hole.
Is this thing?
He's asleep.
He's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dobrun will.
Also, just so you guys have a sense of this guy that's standing in the hallway, this is what he looks like.
Does he have a little glowing orb in his hand?
Not presently.
It was only for the picture. They did.
Yeah.
Would I be able to reach him from here?
No.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I will.
Given your size, as long as Uthermeth doesn't oppose it, you could just move Uthermeth down a square.
I wouldn't block him if he tries to do that.
Either meth or Dobrun says, "I've got this," and starts moving into your square.
So
Moving into your square. And then he brings the axe down using a two-handed swipe.
okay, that hits.
Wow.
And
The group initiative thing is interesting on the screen.
I'm gonna
Is
do
that a macro? How exactly did you re-roll the initiative for
Yeah, it was
everybody?
a macro.
Can you send me that? When
I
not now, when
I can
after the
certainly
session at
try.
some point.
I don't
I mean,
remember
just
how
you
I
could
did
just
it,
cut,
but yeah.
right, just cut and paste the text from the macro and email me that.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
I'm gonna use lacerate as a weapon action.
Okay, can you post it?
Uh, I'll try. Uh, come on. I don't have I have a single entry that has all the weapon actions. I don't have them
Okay.
split out. So
I would recommend for weapons that you plan on using the weapon actions for to put them on your character sheet. Um,
no, it
but
is on my character sheet. I just didn't split
oh,
it out into its
oh, okay.
own
I see.
I have all the weapon actions.
Oh, okay, interesting.
As I was like, because that's how I put it in here because this was all new. So I was like, oh, I'll put them all in there. So if I get different weapons, I don't have to keep looking up where all the weapon actions are.
Fair. Okay. All right. So he's got to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes. So 15, the DC.
But is it a critical success?
It is not.
All right. So
All right.
that,
So it's a all or
they're
nothing effect. So
yeah, so they're fine.
anything else you're doing?
I think that's it.
Luther meth.
So does that guy, if I move, given that I've been pushed out of the way, is that guy going to get an attack of opportunity?
Just it was not possible for Dobrun to attack from his position. It is not possible for him to attack you from your position. Not
Okay.
at least not with a weapon.
Okay. I will take that as he can't. That's
Also remember that enemies don't automatically do opportunity attacks.
oh, I forgot about that. So I'm going to then move there,
Okay.
and I'm going to again use chill touch, although this time not at disadvantage. Never mind. I try. You see I form a little ghostly hand in front of me of sort of crackling blue electrical energy, uh, and send it around Dobrun, but it fails to grab the guy and it fades away. That's my turn.
All right.
You know, I hate to say it, but I didn't really think about it. Is the hallway lit?
It is.
Okay, good. Because it
Um,
would have changed my turns a bit if I had realized I might be in the complete dark.
All right, so he is going to reach out and touch Dobrun.
Everybody's just touching Dobrun.
So wait a minute.
That's a hit. Um,
I don't know why it's doing the. Oh, you have a Constitution saving throw at the end of each turn for the poison. So you're poisoned and you take 17 damage.
And for some reason, it says DC 10, but the
Yeah.
spell description says DC 14.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
That is enough to put him into vitality.
Let's see if that adjustment did it.
Thing that would stop poison.
Now it's 15. It's just getting worse.
Uh, that's
And he's blessed.
that's just a hit. So yeah, I mean
Oh,
that.
so no, the not the those other ones are just tests. So it's just the first one.
Oh,
So
okay.
the 17 poison damage.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Dobrin like gets hit and he like takes and like falls to his knee.
And then and then he's going to, with the dagger that he's wielding in his other hand, he is going to use this on Dobrun.
Okay. He makes it.
Okay. And that's his turn. Tony.
You're talking. I can't hear you.
Yeah. Did he do any like incantations when he cast that spell? Or anything like that?
No, the only thing that he did was he had his hand and it was enveloped in a green mist that kind of rose off his gloved hand as he touched Dobrun. And then Dobrun's flesh at the touch of it uh, began to darken, and you could see green veins spread from the area he touched into Dobrun's flesh, disappearing deeper into his flesh.
Okay. Well, I will I'll reach out, still sort of feeling a little bit of the swell of that magic I used before, but unfortunately I'm out of spell points. So I have to go with a sort of lesser version of it. But I will cast Bone Chill on um, the guy. Why? Hold on, it's got the wrong stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. Uh-oh.
Roll it again.
I was real fucking close.
Uh, wait. So he has this. So technically, the 18 still hits.
All right.
And he loses the displacement effect for a minute, or for until the start of his next turn.
Yeah.
Which could be at the start of the initiative now.
It could be. All right,
All
Chaz.
right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tony. Did you have
Yeah, no,
anything else?
that was it. Obviously he cannot heal himself because that's what Bone Chill says.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you know what? I will because I know what, I guess I can't. Or is it the room would be dark, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna like
I mean, there's
attempt
still
to
the light from the hallway, although Dobrun is blocking a good chunk of it. And there's a little bit of light from the window, even though it's dark. There's still some light. It's not like pitch black outside.
mainly is like I happen to be able to use the hide action as a bonus action. Um so I just making sure there's like a spot that I can sort of dip behind or have some kind of like a cover in case he turns around and won't necessarily see me.
Um, I would say that you could duck under the table.
Is that here in the middle?
Although you just hit him,
Yeah.
so he would see you going under the table
Well, yeah, but
if he turned to
he
you.
was focused on the Loxodon.
Okay, I would allow that. Yeah.
You know, he just had a chilling, you know, tingly feeling that rolled through his spine.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
and then yeah,
then
but I'm out of sight already.
okay, so make a stealth check.
I'll
And
get better with that over time.
I'll say that the area is lightly obscured because it's dim light. Uh, right, dim light counts as light obscurement, I think.
Normally, yeah.
So, okay.
Well,
Chaz,
yeah. I
you're
mean,
up.
yeah.
Huh?
Mainly, I'm hoping to get behind cover of some kind because I don't have any sorcery points.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, that's it though. We're good.
All right. And then Chaz.
Mhm. Let's see. Don't have my shield. Just gonna have just gonna have to fight this guy. That's what's got to be done. It's got to be done, people. I'm gonna go up, bro. Not cool. With the rapier.
So that with that strike, you definitely draw blood, and he seems like his knees buckle a bit. And he turns around, whipping his shoulder so that it withdraws the point of the blade. And he looks at you and he says, "Enough of this." Anything else you're doing?
I will also it's a bonus action. I will activate flourish. So bonus action, make a dex save. If the target fails disadvantage on strength or dex checks, the attack rolls made against it that are made the advantage. Oh yeah, easily. Easily passes. Okay.
So is poison a concentration spell? Just wondering if he has to make a
Oh,
check.
yes, it is. So he does have to do the concentration check. So he had. So let's see. So that Cadeau.
Oh well. It was worth a try because it could do another 3d10 damage
Yeah.
to the guy in vitality.
Oh, no. So the way that poison works is it's kind of like vampiric touch. Um, oh
It
no, it
says it will
doesn't.
do another 3d10
No, yeah,
damage.
that's okay. So that's different than how I remembered it. But then let's see. He also got hit by Chaz. So let's
When I was
see.
writing it at 3 a.m., it sounded really, really good.
All right, so concentration drops on poison. Uh, okay. So Dobrun, you're no longer poison. And now we will start a new initiative, clear the turn order. All right. Godot, you're up. Chaz on deck. Uthermath in the hole.
Damn it, Dobrin, you're only off by 0.01.
I know.
Just that little bit behind him.
Um, I think I go for the same thing, honestly. Or actually, would this be easier? I might make it easier. I don't know. No, I'll just do the same. Do another bone chill.
You are right next to him, so it would be with disadvantage.
He
But either way.
St. Everett's.
theoretically doesn't know I'm here.
Huh? But also you're hidden, so I guess that also goes into the consideration.
Yeah, am I under a table? It was like reach out, or I guess it is a ranged attack. So yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I pictured like standing up anyways, shooting over, and then ducking back down.
So
We'll just
what does it
have
look
to
like when you cast that spell?
Um. I I imagine a sort of lingering energy swirls over my hands whenever right now. Um, Perhaps a bit. I don't know how to describe it, honestly. I don't know what the magic would really look like. Um, Considering, I mean, I guess this considering where I draw my magic from, if you will. I'm not 100% certain what what shade, what color it might be. If black is appropriate. Um, I mean, I guess considering it being I'm doing necrotic damage, it might be appropriate.
Well, it could also just be colorless, or it could be such that everybody perceives it as somewhat different hue or tone.
Mm. I
Could be
mean,
that it leaves no marks and Cadeau's the real killer.
Yeah.
Poundy
Dun, dun,
McPounderson was right.
Speaking of which, I'm surprised nobody called out his name.
Yeah, no, it would definitely leave a mark. Like little scratches along the body, not as severe as the first guy, who was eviscerated.
Mhm.
But it's still little cuts, little nicks that go across the body. So this time for a whopping 3 damage.
Well,
Yeah.
with that, he turns and he hisses, "You will not, this is not the last you've seen of me. Stop. Stop this investigation now." And he disappears in a puff of darkness.
We're done, man. Of course, now I want to look into it more.
What do you have? Some reaction teleport?
Actually, Uthermeth, you can do invest or an Arcana check if you want. Anybody that's trained in Arcana can.
I'm gonna use my divine sense.
I'll allow that. So you use your divine sense, and then you can make a well, Uthermeth.
That is not
nailed
actually
it.
a nat 20. It's just I get a D4 and it maxed the D4.
Okay.
So it's a not natural 20, 28.
Okay. Chaz, you can go ahead and give me what are you proficient in? Insight?
Yeah, insight.
Okay. Do insight. Okay. Both of you would understand that what you were fighting was not actually a real person, but rather some kind of simulacra.
Gross.
So I left mine alive. So at least we can rouse him and ask questions. Although he may just have the same answers as the other man we saved, saying that he is just a bodyguard.
Not
But
cool.
he is asleep in my room and will be for another 30 seconds.
We should
You
find
know,
him.
outside of combat, I would say sleep just goes until they are done sleeping or
Okay.
aroused.
So yes, I think we should find him and figure out who just attacked us.
I have some rope that we can use.
Yes. Chaz will step out into the hallway. Does he see anything?
He sees Trunfeld 3 teeth at the end of the hall.
Yeah, appreciate your help. Not cool. Not cool.
I gotta go take care of something.
Yeah, you do. You need some extra meat hunks?
She she trudges down the stairs.
I want
Bitch.
my friend's money back.
Um, so we can stop there for tonight. Uh,
I would say we tie up that one guy and search the other two.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all just have, basic weapons. One of them had a scimitar, one had a club, the other one had a dagger. Uh, Between them, they probably have actually quite a bit. Each of them have 300 gold total between them.
Rich?
I do say we will want Trunfeld to send somebody to clean this. Uh, he bled a lot.
Um, I was really hoping somebody would call for Poundy McPounderson because I was going to have him Kool-Aid up through the floor.
I was planning on doing it when it came back around to my
And
turn.
that's all he would do. He would tear up the floor, fucking up the battlefield.
See, I kind of view
Trip and fall out the
Poundy
window.
as like a scroll, and I never use scrolls. I always save them.
Like I might need this one day, so I don't want to use
I mean, if Dobrun died because of the poison spell, maybe then.
What was the other feature you said the flail had? You said it had what
Here,
was it?
I'll
Sap and something else.
Heartstopper.
Heartstopper, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll put that in there so I got it.
Do you have access to the abilities?
I'm just cutting and pasting it so I have it
Okay.
right now.
So I guess we'll just so we don't lose track of it, uh divvy up the gold 60 each.
Works.
And just send Frank an email.
And they had scimitar, dagger, and what was the other weapon they used? A club, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
I like to imagine actually what I was going to do on my turn was start by saying first Fisk like rolls over in his bunk and pulls the cover over his head.
Damn city's so loud.
They bring traffic into the inn.
um so what did you guys think?
I had fun.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I liked the mortuary thing. I liked that we annoyed them enough to get kicked out. We still basically got done what we needed to get done. I mean, I don't know how our would-be employer is going to take hearing that Elias is dead. And to be honest, we're like so beaten up that I don't know that we're going to continue the investigation. The bad guys may win,
Yeah.
get exactly what they want
Oh,
as we go
oh,
back to the office.
now you have to get hazard pay.
That's true.
We, at least Ethermath now knows next time to negotiate for hazard pay.
What'd you guys
I
think of
mean,
the oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Kathiri might ask us to look into it, in which case Uthermath would. Uh, but otherwise he still wants to go report back to the guy who hired us, who also may not care about all the murders, just that his guy got murdered.
Why would he do that? He's blue. Obviously, he's a good person.
Right. Well, I suspect good person, yes, obviously, because blue, but he was probably interested in Elias because Elias had some connection to the Isle of Black Trees. And I doubt, that might be related to the murders, who knows? But there's no obvious connection. It kind of, at least at the moment, seems like Elias has some connection to the Isle of Black Trees, and Elias happened to be crazy enough to attract the attention of the murderers. But it could be that, there's some grander plot that ties them both together. Maybe all crazy people have some connection to it, or they're only murdering the crazy people who do.
Where else did I know that that came up with Elias, but is there something else that we're is there some other connection to the Isle of Black Trees besides Eliath?
That's the only reference I remember.
Okay. I was wondering if that was like the second thing, like the second dot that we had connected the line to. But
Well, we don't know why our employer asked to find him, just that he wanted to find him. That's just the most interesting thing about him, since he's just like a crazy, impoverished guy, is that he may have this connection to this demi-plane that everybody's interested in because it's supposed to be filled with magic.
yeah.
That said, if that's what it was, I'm surprised they just killed him outright.
Well, that's what they said.
That's true. Maybe he's still alive somewhere. Maybe that woman is in on it. Tirana the Gray.
Yeah.
So it's given me a lot to think about to try to put the pieces together, but I'm not sure if I have enough to put all the pieces together yet.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a really fun adventure, how it's all coming together. Because it is interesting seeing how you guys are approaching it. What do people think about the variable initiative?
I mean, so far it was fine.
Each round?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it was good.
Especially since I don't have to
like
press the button every time. You just
yeah,
do
it
it.
was,
Right.
it was
Great.
nice that you rolled it and it was good.
Yeah, I figured if we were gonna do it and if it was gonna work, I had to make it as easy as possible. Otherwise, it was just gonna slow everything down.
Yeah.
Right.
I did feel like it did slow things down a slight bit because normally you have the system, which I really do like, and I may start using, of like announcing who's upcoming because at least for me, I know it helps me be like, oh, I should figure out what I'm going to do because I'm up in like 2 turns. Whereas now you never know who's up first. So, I was second and I was still being surprised that I was coming up so quickly.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked the fact that you didn't necessarily know.
Yeah, because things would have went real different if the enemy had gone first before that hit came.
Based off of getting one shot, then yeah, it would have. I dare say.
Um,
Yeah, I was really concerned for Dobrun when Dobrun I mean, because it was like 17 damage, so obviously he went into vitality with that much at level 1. But then I was like reading the description of the spell, and I was like, oh shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's-
Like,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
like
Looks like we're leveling up tonight, boy.
Um, yeah, there's also the other mechanic with people being able to kind of share turns, like where there's that fluidity. If somebody wants to act on somebody else's turn, you guys can coordinate that as well.
I mean, in the end, it kind of worked out for my character because I was like in the doorway and so at disadvantage on my like main attack spell. I didn't envision my character being like up in the front line.
Mm-hmm.
And then along came Dobrun to shove me out of the way into a position where I could then move and not get attacked. So that was
Mm-hmm.
good. That was good for me at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was very tempted to Big Trouble in Little China, open the door and see the guy there and close the door.
Guys who may be trapped.
Or Dobrun, they may be trapped. I did for a second wonder if Cadeau was like, is there a window in here? Oh, I'm leaving through the window.
If they started first, he might have. They went first.
I mean, I just assumed maybe they would have tried to come in through there, or might try leaving out from there. I wasn't sure, but just wanted to like have awareness of where it was. I was a little sad that I didn't get like that that it was the bludgeoner that went after me instead of somebody else.
Hmm. Actually, I have another button on here. I'm gonna try something real quick. See if this works. Is here.
I was wondering if there's a way. I don't know what your macro does for the initiative, but it feels like there should be a way. It might require an API to clear the initiative and re-roll everybody's initiative.
So actually, that's what about to test. So I just did group initiative. Now I'm gonna re-roll or put it in descending order, and now I'm gonna do because there's another button. Oh, see, that's even better. I don't even have to highlight anything. I can just here. Because there's not revealing anything. I'm gonna share my DM screen so you guys can see what I'm doing.
Yeah. See, that initiative roll would have
So,
been bad because he goes really early.
um, but so you guys, so what I was doing before was I was clearing the turn order,
Mhm.
and then I was highlighting all of the players, and then I went group initiative, and then I ordered it. And I was doing that each turn, but then I realized, wait, I have this button I've not been using, and so I just pressed it, and now everybody in the initiative is re-rolled.
Not you have to order it, but yes.
Well, right,
But yeah.
and then
I
if
mean,
I
actually, that makes sense now that you mention it because if you just click initiative twice, it'll re-roll and give you the new score.
so
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 you
this
don't
is
necessarily have to clear the turn order every time because it'll just replace the old initiative.
right. Not only do
Then
I
just
have to
order it.
clear the turn order, but if certain people get knocked out of the initiative, then I could just keep them in it without having any chance of others coming into it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I forgot. I totally forgot about these things.
I also feel like there has to be a macro for all of these like weapon qualities to make it easier to find them rather than like Dustin's thing is probably the easiest that comes immediately to mind, but that's just list them all and fill the chat with everything.
Well, I made since then, while we were talking, I moved the ones that for the weapons that I have into I made separate entries for them. But
Right.
when I was making my character sheet, I was like, well, I have all these potential weapon actions that are like now in play. I don't know what to do with them. I'll just put them into a single thing. But yeah,
Because like I know how to, it's a little cumbersome to do it, but like on the conditions thing in my game, I have a button you guys can press and it'll just pull up a menu where you can then click on the individual conditions and it'll pull up a pop-up that has just that one condition. So I know how to do that, but I feel like there's probably a way, and again, maybe it requires an API rather than just a macro, probably a way to do it like within a weapon, like put it in a weapon description
mm,
So
without
if
having to like separately rewrite it for every weapon.
so here's an interesting question. Because I don't know how this works. Since I have the subscription, I have access to the API. With you guys being in my game as players, do you then have access to use the API for your
no, gotta
characters?
use your, gotta use, I think I'd have to use your account.
Because like when I am in Kurt's game, I can create my own macros for when I'm on through his.
Right. We can create macros, or at least I can. I don't assume that requires like a pro subscription. But I don't know that I have access to the API thing.
Mhm.
I'd have to check. I never bothered checking. I don't really use APIs. I'm not that proficient with them, but I could create a macro if I wanted to. In
I
fact,
think
I've
I
I've made a couple macros.
okay.
Yeah, you don't need to pay anything to make macros.
Well, so what's the difference between the macros and the API?
So the API is like an external, it's a different programming language, first of all. Like these macros are much simpler than an API, but an API can interact with this sort of underlying code and do things like with the macros, you're basically just entering in commands that you could have entered in directly into the chat. So you can like roll dice and you can whisper things and you can open the one thing you could do is like open up pop-ups if you know how they're named. Um, but that is basically you're taking Roll20's basic commands and you're just listing them. And so it's running those basic commands. Whereas with an API, you can essentially program in things that you can't do using Roll20's commands by manipulating the underlying code. But it requires, like I said, I don't do it because it requires a level of sophistication beyond just the macros. But you could do things in the API like automatically subtract arrows every time you fire your bow.
So that
Yeah.
then reminds me, in order to make the macros work that I have, I had to do use the API to alter some things to make it
Right.
possible because the macros themselves don't work without the API adjustment.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
So
Yeah.
I can
And
send you the macros that I use, Kurt, but I think I would also need to figure out what API I use. I think it was just I used somebody else's that created something, then I adapted it, and all I had to do was like download it into the account.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still be interested in seeing it
Yeah.
just because I'm sure I'll be able to. I'm sure there's some other use for it, given that I'm not using your re-rolling initiative feature at the moment. I'm still sure that I would be able to do other things with it,
Mhm.
especially since you just highlighted things on the screen. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
I
playing,
wonder,
everybody. Oh,
I also I do want to point out that I'm just going to keep calling. From now on, I realize I don't like Poundy, or at least my character doesn't. So I am going with Mordregar's Antil forever.
Not my chosen name.
yeah, that was another thing. Like when because I saw his name and I'm like, every time I've thought about his name, it's always just been Mordregaz. But then I was like, as I'm saying it, like immediately I was like, no, it's got to be more grass. Um,
But yeah, he was kind of like a highlight, even though he beat me to 0 hit points in one punch with his 82 to hit.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
uh,
I like Dobrun didn't want him to come like join us, but Dustin did.
yeah, I laughed so hard just like writing him up. That was like, this guy is amazing.
I feel like he'd make a good someday he'd make a good retainer for Chaz. I feel like pairing them
Yeah.
together is the right thing.
Future Awesomite.
The way of
Hey.
awesome and the way of pounding.
All right. Thanks for everybody.
All
Yeah,
right.
have a good night.
Yep.
Good night, everyone.
All right.